anything that goes on in any of our worlds, the world. When something happens, they are quick to action. They come and help in any way that they can, whether it's material, hands, money, and they um, help fix the problem. So we also have KW Local Cares, which is us locally here. And this month we raised $591. So Stacy second, that's Josh, Rich, and Jim. So thank you all. This is collected locally here. So if anything were to happen in our direct area, we would work with KW International to make something happen. If anything in any of our lives, our families, our communities that we wanted to contribute money to, we could work with them to have them contribute money, and we could contribute money if we want to without them. So that's exciting. And then on to more exciting. We have 4 new people. Angel's here in the room. We have Angel, Cassidy, Matt, and Chris. They have all pretty much like jumped on, ready to go, doing the things. So super excited to have them with us. Angel was brought in by Christian. Cassidy was brought in by Jillian, and Matt and Chris were brought in by Linda. Yeah. So I don't think that we have a slide for them, but congratulations to them for lining up people in their profit share tree. For those of you who don't know what that is, because I know you're about to ask me, Stefan. When you bring someone into our world and they join Keller Williams, whoever sponsors you into the program or to the brokerage, who tells you about Keller Williams, the company, whatever profit they make, they share back with that person. So it never comes from the person that they bring in. It comes from owner profit. So it's a way for them to develop some passive income that Keller Williams shares with them from what they make off growing. So super exciting for us to get 4 people in 1 month. That's awesome.
And Linda, was it Linda Flynn?
Yes, Linda Flynn. PC pick of the month. She, I feel like, is super consistent on PC pick of the month. And that, I mean, there's a reason that she's consistently up there is because she is quite consistent. She's on PC Huddle every morning almost. She asks all the right questions. She asks questions. She doesn't ever, come most of the time doesn't come with the problem. She comes before the problem, and make sure that she is doing things the right way. And she's growing a decent little business, and she's awesome. So she is the pick of the month. Yeah. I think she is going to be coming in today. So we'll have to flip back. I hope this works now. So Motivated Mo is Jason. Jason's got a fiery spirit, and I think he just like came to life with the sun. I feel like the sun came back and Jason was like, I'm on it. Like, we're doing things. He's been in the office. He's just got to drive. I'm excited to see what happens next month for him, because when you're motivated this month, it shows up next month. So congratulations to Jason. My keeper of the culture is our keeper of the culture is Amen. I think that when we were, talking about who could be the keeper of culture, we were like, oh, and then you had like walked into the room and we were like the universe came to us and was like, that's who it is. You definitely, I feel like anybody could come to you and ask a question and you'd be happy to answer them and explain it as best as you can. If someone asks you, hey, I need help with this, you are quick to say yes. And that's what our culture is, right? It's about being here for each other and being a positive presence, and you're definitely that. So thank you.
Can I do something on that too?
Yes.
I brought somebody in here and we were just talking, and he came out of the office and said, if you ever have any questions, come to my office is over here. It's super welcoming, and I really appreciated it. And he even commented on it too. So thank you.
Double clap, Damon. So our profit share this month was $9,974, or our profit share last month, which is pretty. You guys can clap for that. That's pretty awesome.
February ever?
That's
Might be. Might be the best one we've ever had.
It's quite impressive. Our year to date is 17.
That's what we paid in February. Right.
Yeah, that's what we're paying
this month.
Yeah. So March is 7,069 and our year to date is 17,000. So I mean 7,000, 9,000, they're very impressive numbers and it's awesome. We'll kind of talk about that in a couple slides down. But super impressive. And then we just have one impressive slide to the next, right? Killing it. $1 Million Club, David Brower and Jim Stereo. You want to know what $1 Million Club is?
I already looked it up, but you
Okay.
told me.
So if you're in the $1 Million Club, you have closed $1 million in volume in 1 month. So
Wow.
pretty, and we've had it quite consistently. We've had 2 or 3 agents up there almost every month for the past few. So
Or more.
and that will also fall into a slide down there. Top individual agents. We have David Brower, Stacy Frazier, Ben Holscher, Josh Rumberger, and Care Bradley. We all remember how individual teams, groups, we had that conversation before about how we're following that when we're talking about the different rankings. Top agents on teams. You see Linda, Gary, and Cher, and Rebecca. I love seeing your little face on there, Rebecca. So top agents and groups. We have Jim Serio, Susan and Hazen, Kevin, Rich, and Jason. Oh. I want to be where Susan and Hazen are. Bright and sunny and the grass is green. So top agents in PC, Rebecca and Megan. And also, I know we're kind of jumping ahead to this next month's slide, but Rebecca graduated PC this month. So ODBR rankings, we've got Linda at number 2, David at number 3, Stacy 9, Kevin 10, Jim 11, Cher at 13, and Rich at 20.
Who's number 1?
Remember.
It's
She is
so
number 1.
yeah. And then our ODBR, her MLS stats, we've got 28.3% market share, 28.38% market share, which is awesome. Last month we were at 28, and we're holding consistent. It's pretty amazing. So congratulations to you all. You're all out there getting ready for mud season, walking through snow, 10-degree weather. So the pie chart, all the listings we had taken, 39, we wrote 60 contracts and we closed 59 units. So I've been thinking about this since the last team meeting and how we talked about like, well, you know, comparative to last month, what does this month look like? And I'm almost thinking that this information is better if we do like 3 to 6 month back clips so we can actually see over time what's happening. Okay, if we wrote 60 offers this month, in 2 months from now, did we close 59 of them? And so we can kind of track our drop off.
Depends on the attorney.
Very true.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe, I mean, from the conversation we had last time, I think that's an interesting thing that we should maybe start paying attention to, so we can see where our drop off is. Are the listings that we're taking, are they equating to the written volume? Is it 2 months down the road? Is that what we're closing? So we can just pay attention to that. It would be fun. So our next slide is why that Stefan's super excited about. When we were talking about this, I think this is a pretty amazing visual. So from 2025 to 2026, in January and February, you can see, right? So we're on track to have an amazing year. Go ahead, Steph, and I know you're ready.
I just want to point out like two small things, or three, tie back to some of the other
Yeah.
slides. The increase in volume we're even up until now for the first quarter of this year compared to last year has been tremendous. You guys have made more money in the first 2 months than you ever have in the first 2 months of a year ever in the history of this company. And we're talking like 45% increases in productivity, with the average sales price only up about 3%. So it's not that home prices are going up and people are making more money. Our market share went from 24-ish% to just under 29%. You're eating everyone else's lunch. Like you guys are consuming more market share at a faster rate than we've seen in a very long time. That also leads to more profit share. At this time in 2025, we had paid, I think, about $8,000 in profit share, and we're at almost 18,000 so far this year. So all of the work that everyone did in the back half of last year, the education and the trainings and the plugging in and showing up, this is where it's happening. Like, this is where these results are coming from. It's not just because the market's better or, COVID fueled this market, money kind of fell out of the sky. That's not happening. It's objectively, as an industry, it's harder out there, but not for you guys. You guys are bucking the trend to go in the opposite direction, and it is super impressive. And it's also not just all the top agents making more money. Newer agents, people who were doing 2 or 3 deals a year last year are doing 5 and 6. People are getting into production faster. They're building the businesses quicker because you're plugging in, and not even just to the market center, but to each other. There's more support from agent to agent now than I think we've probably seen in, at least since I've been in 6, 7 years. It's been incredible how well people are leaning out each other, helping each other grow their businesses. So kudos, hats off. It's super, super impressive.
Yeah, so I mean, looking at it, it's like, man, I feel like I'm in the right room. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be with the people who are winning, and the way that we're winning is we're talking to each other. Most everyone I interact with in the office, in PC, all of it, everyone is connecting, and when we connect with each other, I'm going to jump a little bit because there's a quote that Gary Keller had mentioned, and it's you don't have to have been the best, but you have to study the best. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with, like, you don't maybe have to be the best up front, but like when you're talking with other people who are doing all the right things, who are making these big dents in our local market, like that's contagious, right? Like, you will do what other people are doing. So the more that we talk with each other, the more that we do, just going to continue on that trend, I think. So we went to Katrina and Brianna and I went to Georgia, and we froze. It was not warm. It was extremely windy, but family reunion was awesome. There was, I'm sure you've seen a ton of stuff online or maybe have talked to us about it, but it was all social media based. And we had a ton of amazing speakers. Gary had, when he was initially bringing people on, I think it was Jason had brought this up, slide up. And it was talking about the content that we create and how, like, the science behind it. Because it's not just we post, and then something happens, right? People post all day long and it can mean nothing. So putting out purposeful content brings attention, brings familiarity, that makes people know you. Once they know you, you connect with them, you build a relationship, and that drives the business. So it's not just I'm going to post something up and people are going to call me because I'm a real estate agent. It's they want to know you, they want to see what you're doing, they want to trust you. Once they trust you, then they will do business with you. So that was kind of the basis around, um, I feel like the whole time we were there was just like, you need to be yourself. People want to know who you are. They're not just going to work with you if you're posting statistics about the market or, you know, roadmaps to being their first time home buyer. They want to know that they can trust you and then they can rely on you to give them sound advice. So had anybody seen anything that had come across any of the like little lives or anything like that? Brandon, did you want to chime in on anything? Katrina? I'm sorry, I'm calling you out. So if not, all good.
I mean, I have plenty to say on it, but yeah, just what Angela was saying and what every single person, they all had different things to talk about, but the one thing that they all said was to be authentic online, and not that you have to share your private life, but to personalize your content. So if you're somebody that loves dogs, but post about your dogs all the time, doesn't mean you have to put your whole life out there, but posting things that are outside of business, but that make you real to people is how they connect to you. It's called a parasocial relationship. And it's what sums up social media is that people, the more often they see you and the more often they relate to you, the more familiar you are to them. And then they want to do business with you. And this was evident when I was in a room with somebody at family reunion that I didn't know. And literally I was like, oh, that's Alice Ronaldo. And then realized I've never met this woman. I know her from her social media. She's in our region and I follow her for our work. But what she's doing made a connection in my head, and I recognized her in Atlanta and knew who she was.
And thank you. I think that when you're saying all that, I think it's Simon Sinek who says like, be human, be more human more often. Like that, I think in a world where we're talking about AI all the time and we're all to our phones, like we are humans and we crave other human interactions. So if we can show that we're actually human, people will most likely be more apt to like pay attention to you rather than slides. And I think there are a few people in this room who, you know, feel really comfortable recording themselves and you can see it happening. Like when you have yourself out there, I think that the content works a little better because you're personalizing it, making it you.
Can I say one other thing?
No.
Please. Yeah. Video is king on social media. There's just no way around it. That was drilled into us over and over and over again. As human beings, we respond to video and we only have a matter of seconds
1.7 seconds
to pull somebody in.
Yeah.
And the one thing that they did say to us multiple times was, unfortunately for you, this is what you look like. So get over it and make the video. Like when you're talking to people, that's the face that they see. The voice. Yeah. Make the video and get over that. But video is king.
They teach you how to get over that.
They did not. They literally were like, guys, this is what you look like. I don't know what to tell you. Just make the video like multiple times to the point where I was like, okay. Yeah.
I want to add to this really quick. I just want to throw you guys a bone. The two things that I see in real estate, especially in this area, that realtors and real estate agents are completely missing is number one, you guys have a huge advantage and a huge key differentiator that nobody ever talks about. Literally never talks about. I've done 3 videos and 2 of them have gone viral on that topic. And when I say viral, one of them did 1.3 million views. Talking about the fact that we live in one of the very last affordable places in the country. You guys live in one of the very last affordable pockets of real estate. And if you go 3 hours in any direction, it gets double or triple the price. So the second part of that is, I see this a lot, is realtors tend to net. They tend to market to their local region, their neighbors, but social media is international. It's worldwide, it's global. So when you talk about the fact that we live in the last pocket of affordable real estate, you get people in California that can't pay their power bill going, I can buy a house on 3 acres for 170 grand. I don't even get a dirt driveway for 170 grand, right? You will get people from out of the area calling you wanting to come to this area. And how do I know that? Because when those videos go viral, they message me by the thousands going, who do I talk to? Who are the realtors? Who do I get in contact with? So there's a real hunger out there for people to find some place to go where they can actually find some sort of
affordable life. So they will, the last one I just did that went somewhat viral, I was talking about Arizona. Phoenix used to be one of those areas nobody wanted to live because it was too damn hot in the summer. And right now, do you know what the median price of homes are in Phoenix, Arizona? It's almost $600,000. So when you hear people complain about our winters, believe me, they will bear our winters for a $200,000 or a $300,000 house. So I'm just throwing you that bone. The
Where
minute
are you sending all these people?
Yeah.
I only send them to you guys.
All right.
So, and I'd be willing to bet that some of them have actually reached out to you guys because you can't get that many queries. And I always say you can't go wrong with these guys. And I can show you the proof of it. If you guys ever want to see like the
Right.
proof,
Yeah. And the legislature didn't happen.
Off the hook.
And the other- like to just touch on that too, the other thing that's worldwide is us, right? So like we could have the opportunity to have, if someone did call us from somewhere else, we have the opportunity to be able to find an agent who could align with what they need in their area and get them to our freezing cold winters faster. So it all works out. So Ryan Leake came on. So he had talked about he's very regimented. So I love this guy already because he's up at 4 a.m. And he posts every day at 4 a.m. He doesn't post a ton, just every day he gets up and he posts something at 4 a.m. So he isn't posting all day and sharing and doing all these things. He just knows that he's the first thing that people see when they wake up in the morning because he gets up before them and he makes sure he's consistent every day posting something. So he was talking about how so instead of quantity, you want quality. So he posts something and has everybody wake up to him. And he gets recognition, right? You every morning, like your favorite social media influencer, whoever they're on, they probably do something similar every day. When you pop on, you have something new to watch from them. My personal favorite guy who I'm super alert for has nothing to do with real estate, and he's the guy that do you know what rips, dude? Do you know that guy?
Oh my God.
He's my favorite guy.
No, absolutely.
But so what this all has done though has been really making me watch my own consumer habits. Like how long I give a video until I'm like, nope. Or like what I will read, how much, like if I see something that has too much, I won't read it because I'm like, I don't feel like reading. I just wanted to briefly look at something. So it's really been making me take interest in what my own consumer behavior is because I'm probably not that unique, right? Other people probably have very similar consumer behavior that I do. So just thinking about that has really triggered things of what not to do, right? What to do and what not to do. So Gary Vee, I think probably made the biggest wave at Family Reunion. He was amazing. He was a very powerful speaker. He had a ton to say, and really, essentially, I feel like if you could sum it up in couple sentence, it would be he was just get out of your own way and just start doing things. There was a few F-bombs in there. So he also had, yes, up here. He had also stopped making the excuses. I thought that was a super incredible thing to say, right? There's always going to be some political party in office, right? You can still have people still make money. There's always going to be something going on in the world. People still make money. So regardless of what we want to tell ourselves, the excuses are just noise. We can always be doing what we should be doing, or we can choose to listen to our excuses and fall to the bottom. So I really loved him. I've now started following him, and he's super inspirational, and he's another one. Every day he has something new that he posts. And it's usually very short, very quick, but very powerful. He doesn't get lost in he's obviously had 20 something years and came out so he's been doing it for quite some time, to perfect it, but I would highly suggest following him. He definitely is a good motivator and has really good points to look back on and think oh, what's my consumer behavior? What am I doing? Where are my excuses? Donald Miller, he actually had, drawn a blank of the book that he wrote. What's
Story
the,
brand.
yeah, so he
It's a great
has,
book.
he has the 7 key points, right? So he has, there's a character, they have a problem, they hire somebody, for the solution, the person that they hire, creates a plan for them and a call to action, and then the problem solved. So there are 7 key points in the story. And it is all around the idea that we're letting them,
It's all about how to build your brand, like
Right.
how to come up with the sound bites that speak to people where they're at to create your brand, to position yourself as the guide. You're the guide that helps them solve their problem.
to help them identify like where they're at, what they need, how to go about things. So again, he's somebody who's I haven't chewed into his book, but I'm super excited. And he's a pretty large presence too and following.
My big thing with him, I really liked, like I had a bunch of takeaways, and then I read his book after. But what I loved was that the protagonist is the client.
Mhm.
We are not the protagonist. It's really easy to be like, I'm a superhero. I'm going to get you what you need, and both. But it's so easy to make it about ourselves, and that's what we usually do early on in real estate. Here's my headshot. Here's my bio. Here's me. But eventually, it's more like what he says, to own a problem. Instead of like, what do? I do real estate. Like, I help people find homes. I like you just identify what problem you solve and they go, oh, I had that problem. That's great. As opposed to real estate. Well, what do you do in real estate? It really lets people know exactly quickly that you can save them or help them.
Right. And that they're the hero of the story. You're just the guide. Like their success isn't our success. We are the reason they get to their success. But he was a good, I think, pillar for Family Reunion, because I think he was very polar opposite of Gary Vee. So Gary Vee was very loud, but he had a very subtle way of coming in there and bringing in points.
He was my favorite. Yeah.
I had a hard time listening to him, not gonna lie. But it was nice that there were so many different voices that I'm sure everybody heard somebody.
Oh, I like that.
She was amazing. So she had said a couple things that have like really stuck into my mind. One of them is that, she was always like, one of her excuses was like, oh, like I have a ton of family on my social media and they don't want to see my real estate post, and they might not all want to see what houses are coming on the market. And then she had told herself like she would start thinking in a way like, respectfully, you're not my audience. So like still post your stuff and know that it's not for everybody. Just like you post your personal stuff, not everybody's gonna like it, but you may not be putting it out for everyone else. We feel more confident putting our personal stuff out because you're putting it out for you, right? Like you want to see the reaction there. But when you're putting out your whatever content you are for whatever industry that you're in, you have to decide like you are posting it for the people that you're posting it for, and being okay that it's not going to be for some people. And she also had like an incredible journey that she shared of like insecurities, which I feel like a ton of people feel when they're recording themselves. I instantly shut down when I record myself. I'm getting better about it. But it made me feel great that somebody who is a huge social influencer that is on the stage at Family Reunion, also had the same insecurities that I had. And just worked her way through it, and just used these little things that she had told herself over and over again to make it okay, and then ended up on the Family Reunion stage. So,
Can I share one thing?
Sure.
My big takeaway from her, there were a lot because she was great, but she said that a lot of us struggle making a video because we're trying to make a video where we're talking to the whole world. And what we need to do is find that one customer that we're talking to. I'm making this video for Beth and what Beth is looking for, and I'm talking to Beth in this video. We all know if our friend FaceTimes us, we all know how to talk on camera. We all know how to be in a video. We know how to be normal. It's when we hit that record that things go sideways. So in my head, I'm talking to Beth about what she's looking for. And she said, even go as far as start the video saying, hey, Beth, how are you? Da, 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 and then edit out that first part. Now you're having a conversation with someone rather than making this video to everyone. And that build comfortability.
And, it was kind of like going back to like the different types of people out there. She came out on the stage and was like jumping and having a whole dance party, and then the next person came up and was just like,
Anxiety instantly. I was like,
I love it. My name's Giselle Ugardi and I'm ready to party. And
Yeah.
we're like,
He was awesome. I really enjoyed this guy too. We had talked on the PC huddle about him. So he had a short time frame. He only had a half an hour, but he packed it full. And he had a video showcasing a house, and he had like the stats for the house pull up, and he was sitting behind it, and then he like jumped over the house and grabbed his phone and toured through the house. Like it was a really fun video. And he walked us through how he did it in a couple short steps. Of course, he had some paid apps that he used to help it along. But he, if you can, take a picture of this, because it was the things that he told us to do immediately. He said, everyone pull out your phone and change your video settings immediately. This is what your default for your video should always be. He explained, like why the settings matter. I will probably jumble it if I try to repeat it at the moment. But take his word for it. That's the setting it needs to be on, and your video will be of better quality. Man, Gary's vision speech. Gary's vision speech is I feel like a lot of like state of the market, like what's exactly happening on a bigger scale. There was the home sales were the low. Where was it? Hold on, I'll find my spot on it. So the trend of like the 4-year low is kind of where we're at right now. So they yeah, go ahead. I was like, can you talk the number slides, because I feel like you're so much better and I stumble over my words. So I'm super thankful that Stefan loves them so much, because I can understand them when I look at them, but not so much when I explain them.
Well, it's not so much, I don't necessarily love them, but it pays for everyone to understand this stuff for a few reasons. For the last 4-ish years, we've existed in one type of market, right? 85% of the people that work in real estate around the world, in our country specifically, have never worked in a shifting market. Markets shift. It's not good, it's not bad, it's the market, it's what it does. Where it gets challenging is when people don't spend the time to learn what that means and how to have the conversations around. So what we're going to start doing at team meetings, we're going to take just briefly a couple of minutes and talk about some more macro things that influence what we do and our world, because these are the conversations you have with clients. We spend a ton of time talking about our market and our numbers and business we do and Otsego, Delaware County, and that's great. Our clients don't really care too much about that. Like when you're sitting in someone's living room, us having 28% market share, cool, for us, it doesn't really matter to that person. What matters to them is what they see on the news. What are home sales, interest rates, property values, things like that. So I guess for the first one here, for the first time in 4 years, we're projecting, and when I say we, this is NAR, these are NAR projections. So, they've historically been proven pretty accurate, a very small margin of error. But this is the first year since 2020, from 2020 to 2021, where we're predicting an increase in home sales again. So when you're sitting, what does that mean? When you're sitting there talking with sellers and you're having the conversations about pricing, and they're saying, well, there's no inventory, right? Sellers still control the market. not going to be necessarily true for that much longer. Like the trend is going to start to shift, and the key is not to catch up to it. You want to get ahead of that trend. So just good to know that our home sale trajectory is projected to increase by 200,000 homes this year. And this is across the country, but it affects everything. And these are the numbers they're seeing. So if you just familiarize yourself with the numbers your clients are seeing, and it's in line with what they're seeing, you're going to have credibility much, much faster. I don't have the clicker.
I do.
There you go. This is a good one too. So that blue line is the long-term trend for home prices over the last 36 years. You know, on average, homes will appreciate over time at 4% per year. It's what they've done. It's what they always do. And when you look at things in small chunks, like when you look at 24, 25, and 26, it's easy for a seller to say, or a buyer to say, well, if things are way too high, I have to wait for prices to come down. And they might be better off waiting for prices to come down right now. But you could have said the same thing in 2006, right? The person who bought in 2006 might have been sitting there in 2008, but someone's like, oh, you should have waited. But right now, they're probably pretty damn happy with their purchase, right? It's not you can't time the market on the moment. Over time, prices will go up if what they do. There's fluctuations, and there's, obviously COVID and things you can't predict. But one thing you can predict is that over an extended period of time, real estate goes up in price. It's what it does. So when you have buyers that are in that headspace of, I need to buy something, I want to wait. You're going to wait for home prices to come down 7.5% down to the trend line. Okay, that could be a significant amount of money now, but we also don't know that's going to happen. We don't know what we can predict. Yeah, they might start, but they haven't yet. They're not predicted to come down this year. So can they wait 2-3 years for things to come down? Maybe, maybe not. But what you do know is what happens over an extended period of time. So
I think when I had the first thing that I had noticed was like the doubles, right? So in 1999, and then in 2006, it doubled, and then fast forward over here, it doubled again. So like you can bet on like every 15-ish years, home prices are going to double, because that's what historically it's shown. So that's what stood out. So then thinking about that, like in 5 years, what's that going to do? So someone's like, oh, no, I'm going to rent for 5 years. Great. That's great. But ultimately, is it going to benefit you? You're just going to be paying more later, and you could have that equity in for 5 years, and then the price grows from there. So I thought that was like my interesting little visual takeaway on that.
this is a good one too for you guys, for agents in the business. Where there is have been going up, and the trend is projected to continue to go up for dollar volume, total market value in the real estate market, like what the volume transacted in our business is. And if you notice that dotted blue line, that's how many agents are in NAR. And there's agents that don't exist in NAR, obviously, but that will be very indicative of the trend nationally on a percentage basis, even accounting for agents that aren't part of NAR. And what we're going to see now is we have less agents than we've had in quite a few years, but we're going to have a lot more volume than we've had. Like volume is going this way, agent count is going this way. This sort of does coincide with some of those other slides that we were talking about. There's going to be more money for agents to be able to make in the next year or two than we've had in quite some time. There was a couple of years there where, look what happened from 2020 to 2021. That was almost a million. No, there's $1 trillion in volume, and I think there was like an extra 250,000, 300,000 agents that got into the business. So less agents, more volume, more business for the people who are willing to.
Do you want to explain this one too? I think I got it. So our March calendar, thank you for that, Stefan. The way that you explain it is always so much more eloquent than mine. It's a mess up here trying to look at graphs. So, I mean, it makes sense in my mind, but not when I try to spit it out. So our March calendar, we're halfway through. We have PC tomorrow that Brianna is going to head up, and she is going to be diving into DocuSign a little bit. So for PC is always welcome to any agent who wants to come in, not DocuSign, just kidding. So anybody who's interested in coming to that, we have DocuSign on Friday with Scott Leroy, which is a Zoom. Eamon is doing a land class in person on Tuesday, Market Monday with Rich and Jess, and then Joan has property previews next Wednesday. Do we know where we are?
Oneonta, Milford,
Awesome.
really nice properties.
I'm excited. And then Stefan has his OP mastermind with the top 20% of the market center on Friday. We have lunch and learn on Tuesday with Community Bank. Selena's coming in and she's going to do an appraisal style game for any appraisal things that might come up. We're going to make it fun. Appraisals are fun now. And MLS and anybody who's doing the Breakthrough 120. How do you love it?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a very like how do you do? No, yeah, you do though.
I do.
It's good content.
Yes.
Okay, we're not. Go to April.
Stefan has some.
Oh, go ahead,
So
Kevin.
for those, like, so Breakthrough 120 is replacing Ignite.
Right.
So Ignite is leaving Connect and our education calendar, and this is coming into it. I took the first one with Harry, and I didn't do last night's. I will do the next one. We should, if it's not in there already, have the stuff in command on the instructor level to be able to start teaching it at a market center level very soon. So,
I think
So-
it's in there already.
Yeah, it is.
oh, perfect. So we can start doing this ourselves and doing classes around it. For those who have done Ignite, this is different, so it's definitely worth doing
It's
this
really different.
also.
And there's an opportunity there for anybody who is like interested in on their presentation skills to help with their social media videos. I think it's helpful when you're on Zoom and comfortable in front of other people. If you're open to like hosting a class on that, just let us know. We'd love to have extra faces on there. So something to keep in mind, Beth, if you want to jump in since you've done one.
The hesitation in my IG was that there were some just technical difficulties that appeared to be inherent to doing this on Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's been done on Zoom before. So she's kind of making some of that up. So it's like the screen sharing and all that, and it's easy to just get lost in that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But the content I think is good. And if I was doing the homework, I would probably benefit.
Right. Thank you for sharing the importance of doing the homework when it's given out. I think that I think it's been done. I know it's been done a couple times in person, and this may be like the first or second time it was done in Zoom. So I mean, with anything, there's growing pains.
It was the one Carrie's teaching was like the pilot one to specifically get the kinks out.
Mhm.
And there was some content that was changed from the first week into the second week and the third week. So and that's just,
Figuring it out.
you know,
Yeah.
So
So this is what the April calendar is looking like so far. We've got forms and contracts, the ALC meeting, PCET meeting, all the regular things. There is something new and shiny on the calendar, and that is a profit share hour that Josh is hosting. Josh, do you want to talk about it or do you want me to?
I don't know, it's on the calendar yet
Yeah.
for this month, but
She
sure,
just made the logo. Well, no, it's for next month.
oh, for next month?
Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations, you're doing it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I popped it in the chat. It's really nothing super formal, but just all taking an hour to get together, stay accountable, and work on our profit share, connecting, and just some lead generation ideas. I feel like there's strength in numbers, and it could be a good thing.
Yeah, and it's an hour on Zoom, right? And you can just bump on for the first couple minutes, share ideas, and it's kind of like a body doubling thing. So you could talk about it and then put your camera on off and on a mute. And if you have any questions, jump back on. There'll be a few people on. So I think it'll be a fun little like power in numbers, like Josh was saying, like it's when you're doing things, it's contagious when you're in a room with people doing the same thing. It's easy for us to say like, oh yeah, I'll do that next Wednesday from 9 to 10. And then at 9, it's sunny out and your dog wants to go out. And you're like, or I can do that next Wednesday at 9 and 10. But if you make a commitment and you have other people in the room waiting and you get in there, you most likely are going to be doing what you say you're going to be doing. So
Can I say one thing? I just want to say about the forms and contracts. Angela started this. We've done it twice now. She's taking one standard form that we use, and it's a Zoom thing, and she's breaking down that form. And I think it would be easy for those of us that have been doing this a long time to think, oh, I don't need to do that. I know that form, but we can all use this. Even at the last one, Angela and I learned something from another agent that we didn't know that we could be doing. So it's definitely beneficial for everybody. And it's a quick thing in the evening that you can just put your computer on and go about your stuff. But it's definitely, there's value there for everybody, not just for the PC.
Thank you. I think so I feel like the way that I fill out my documents, I'm just a conglomeration of the way that I've heard other people explain it over the years, right? Like, so I'm sure the way in my presentations, I have little pieces of Joan, I have little pieces of Stacy, I have little pieces of everyone in this room who I have heard explain something that I'm like, wow, they explain that way better than I do. And I've just morphed the way that I explain things. So I'm always looking to further my morphism sounds weird, right? That's not right. My dialect and how I understand and project these documents. So having the conversations, like it's only going to strengthen all of us. I feel like every time I have a conversation with someone different about agency or the fair housing document or the buyer agent compensation or the property or the purchase and sale contract, every time I have a conversation with someone, I usually am like, oh, that was well said, or I have never understood it like that, or I've never heard anybody explain it like that. And it just helps me have a better understanding of it. So the more people we have on there, the better it is for everyone. So
I've left everyone with notes.
Yeah.
Of things that I could be doing differently, or like, yeah.
And it's even like what I was bringing back to is a couple of team meetings ago when we were sitting here talking about the agency disclosure. Sometimes like we think we know, and like turns out we do things wrong. And then like we're like, oh, okay, good news. Like I'm gonna do it right from now on.
There's different ways to interpret the same
thing. Absolutely. Yeah. So special announcements.
You go back and just.
Yes.
What is the Leadership Academy?
So the Leadership Academy, there'll be an email going out. It is in Syracuse. It's going to be happening quarterly. Our regional director is putting it on. The initial one, she is going to be the one speaking on it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's any special guests at that one. And it's going to be for anybody who is in a leadership position. And that doesn't have to mean like market center leadership, like you're on a team, you're a leader in your family, whatever that looks like. But anybody who would like to be, have a little insight on what that entails, what skills you can hone in on. It's just going to be a regional meeting for people who are either looking to be leaders in their market center. So it is or team. Yeah. Anybody who's looking to start a team eventually. Really, if you're looking to lead in any facet, this is going to be super huge for you to build the foundational pieces to that. Go ahead, Stefan.
Well, I think it's also a really good opportunity, even if you don't want to be in a formal leadership position. If you want to just kind of learn what thinking and acting like a leader might feel like and how it can change your life, even if you're a solo agent, like those are the trainings that make you think different. Like that's where you get exposed to like learning how to rewire yourself in ways to just live a bigger, better life, business wise, everything. It's just, I am of the belief those are the rooms to be in all of the time if you want to explore that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just to even like just to understand what it looks like. And it doesn't have to be just for business, right? Like there are so many other aspects of our lives where we have to be leaders. And I think it's changed my life walking into rooms like this where I was like, no, I don't think that applies to me. I'm good. I'm just a little solo agent over here and I just want to do my little solo agent thing and not do anything else. And then I walked in the rooms and it really did expand my mind of like, oh, I had never thought about that before, or oh, I didn't realize that was an option, or whatever that looks like.
So is
Huh?
it free?
Uh-huh.
Free?
Yes. Isn't it?
To be determined?
Yeah, I don't.
Don't have a ton of.
Yeah,
insight yet.
there's really not a ton of info on it. We know it's in Syracuse.
Right.
Yeah, and it will be held quarterly. Other than that, and essentially what it is.
An overview.
So we will let you know.
Yeah.
As soon as I know, you will know. You will get an email from
So
me.
if you're interested, just put it on your calendar
Mhm.
now and then reach out to Angela or Katrina or Brianna.
Yes.
But leadership is key. It's key. And there is no other real estate company that's teaching people to be leaders. You are leaders in your life. You are leaders in your family. You are leaders in your nonprofits. Take advantage of this. It's great.
And Mary Beth always has she always puts on a good group of people together. So if it isn't just her, if it's her message only, she is a powerful message. And if she brings anybody into the room, they'll be worth listening to. So do we have any special announcements?
I kept the link tree in there because I'd like to
Okay.
get more people subscribed to it.
Does everyone have our link tree?
Get subscribed to this.
It's all the stuff you need. So all of our documents, it attaches to all of our calendars, like our readership calendars and our actual market center calendars that have all the links. So it's supposed to be a spot where if you need anything from the market center, it's here. If you need any logos, it's on the link tree. If you are looking at any regional trainings, it's here. If you need any
Vendor lists, KW websites. You can schedule time with leadership, the training calendar. There's a suggestion box if you have something that you
you can tell us something good.
say to us. You can tell us something good. Links to all of our socials. We want this to be a place where you can get all of your answers in one spot. And if you find something where you're like, I need this all the time, it would be great if it was on the link tree. Suggestion box, let us know.
Our W-9 for referrals on the link tree. Everything lives on our tree.
So is that an app? How do I?
You scan the camera and open right on.
I know, but if I don't have that in front of me.
You can just bookmark it.
Yeah, bookmark it.
Yeah.
Yes. On my phone.
Like just add it as your favorite and you'll be right in there. Whenever you're going to look for something else, instead of looking wherever you were looking, you can just open your browser and pop right into the link tree.
You can
I
you can
text it to
download the
myself.
Linktree app to your phone if there's other ones that you want to use, but you can also go to the website. You don't
You
have
can also create a link tree for yourself too, for your clients. So, I mean, just like using it and seeing its functionality and then deciding if you want to do something like that later.
which I can walk you through very easily. It's free. Ours isn't free, but you can have a free version.
Does anyone have anything for compliance, Joan, Katrina?
Is this broker thing?
No, this is compliance.
We keep, I know I sound like a broken record, but we keep having old, property condition disclosures. If you're a listing agent, use the 2025 version. If you're a buyer's agent and you get a outdated version from a listing agent, contact them in the beginning of the transaction, not when you're ready to get paid, because that's when it gets flagged for compliance.
Yeah, so what's happening is we get your commission check and then we're like, oh, your PCD is outdated. Great. So then you have to go back and do your due diligence at the
Yeah.
end instead of just doing it at the beginning.
You guys have control over this. All you need to do is connect with the listing agent and say, this is an outdated property condition disclosure. Please provide me with an updated property condition disclosure dated August 2025 for my client.
What if they, what's the protocol if they say no?
Let me know. I'll
Agree with
talk
that.
to the broker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I create big bad jokes.
And then, what else do you have, Joan, for broker?
Okay. ODBR has started a new protocol on flagging issues.
Listing data checker.
Right. It's a data checker. Don't be too upset if you get a notice from them. It's in a beta testing stage.
Mhm.
And they're trying to improve it. So if you get one, reach out to us. We'll help you understand what it is, but don't get panicked or upset. Try not to be. Number two, New York State MLS. This is the one that most of the Cooperstown agents belong to. We have an opportunity to get a discount on our monthly dues. Right now, if you join as an individual agent, it's $45. If we have 10 people join, it will be reduced to $30 per month. So it's a 15%, a $15 reduction per month. We have about 7 people signed up already. If you do work up in the hinterlands of Cooperstown and beyond, it's worth it because a lot of the non-MLS agents post there.
How is that financially different than me just buying my own membership to it?
You will be paying $45 a month if you join, and we have 10 people, and I can tell that, oh, the New York State MLS, we have 10 people. It will be reduced. Your monthly payment will be reduced to $30.
But so there is no difference. You're signing up individually either way. It's just that once you have them.
It's been a while since I've talked to them.
Right.
Maybe a year and a half or two.
But let
And it was
somebody know that you
$350 a
joined
year.
so that I can then say to them, okay, now the brokerage has 10 people signed up. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so if you need the, Katrina has a very nice printout of like, here's what you do, here's all the info that you need to, give to the MLS. So if you do want to join, just let us know.
Just send me an email.
What were you gonna say, Megan? To clarify, who uses the New York MLS as opposed to all the
Cooperstown
others?
brokers, so,
Windsor.
Ashley Connor and Hubble.
Windstar.
Is there any sort of program for like Hudson Valley or can we do something similar? Is that?
They might be
Is that-
part of the New York State
Did I
MLS.
see something on
There's gonna be,
Matrix pop up about one key?
yeah,
That'll be fantastic. We
Yep.
don't know anything else about that right
Well,
now, right?
what they're talking about is a data share.
Right. So
So
it's just reciprocal listings or how?
it's so that we have access to the information.
Okay.
Angela, Jim, and Stacy are all involved with ODBR and the MLS. So stay tuned. It may be a game changer for us.
It was.
I'm hoping.
Megan, it's not necessarily area specific. for
Yeah.
that. It's more, it's a MLS that people can use if they're not part of NAR and they're not part of a board of realtors. You can have a license and
Can we
use
just,
that.
do we have to be, if we just use that, do we have to be in the ODBR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, you need to have.
You were like.
be elected. You want to work here.
Bingo.
It was like, second, hold on. Okay, so we have Preston here with us today. And Austin, and they've got some fun stuff for us, so,
Oh, yeah.
I know everyone's hungry, so bear with us and we'll eat some awesome tacos and corned beef in a minute.
All right, I'm gonna throw this out there just to start with. If you guys have never had tacos al pastor, don't pass it up. Like, it's life changing. I brought it in. So my son and I moved from California to Pennsylvania, and for 2 years could not find good Mexican food. And went back to California, and I kind of forced him to give me the recipe, and that's the recipe. So, kind of brought it with us. Anyway, don't pass that up. It's really good. Second of all, what I want to start by saying is I absolutely love you guys. I love Joan. You're like one of the best human beings I've ever known in my life. So I just want to throw it out there. And the little bit of insight I want to give you is that I have kind of a unique vantage point because I go into a lot of agencies and I do a lot of presentations. This is the only agency that I am aware of that doesn't have the catty compartmentalized nonsense going on. I never hear you guys bad mouthing each other. I never hear little cliquey groups of you guys going, oh, that's the bad people. And that is going on at almost all the other agencies. You guys are focused on the right things with the right people, with the right leadership mentality. And I love that. I have 3,700 agents in my database. I have a green list. It's the only agents I'll work with anymore because I'm old and kind of grumpy now. And on my list, all but 3 are right here in this office. Okay, so I don't know a single bad agent in this agency. And so when social media people or anybody reaches out to me, they always get sent here. So I just want you guys to know that. All right, so I'm going to start off with this today. So I'm doing something totally new, totally different. And I want to start by pointing at your wall because, and I got this through the presentation today with Angela, is that you guys are always thinking bigger, thinking different. How do I change? How do I do things better? So quickly, raise your hand if you want to be more successful this year than you were last year. All right, Steve. Sorry. Steve's not gonna, all right. In order to do that, you have to do things differently. You have to change something from last year. And so here's what I know as a business person. I started my first business when I was 12 years old. I've been an entrepreneur and a self-employed person almost my whole entire life. The one thing that I know is comfort zone is the danger zone. Doing things the same way that you've always done it is exactly what keeps you right where you are. And in order to do anything better or to be more successful and prosperous, you have to do things differently. So not everything that I've come up with, or not all my crackpot ideas have all been successful ones, but at least I'm trying, right? So last year I tried Waveworthy. Well, there was a couple successful hits, not so much with some of the other ones. So I kind of, laid off on that, but at least I'm trying, right? As a home inspector, I'm in a very challenging position because I love all of you guys. We have good relationships, but then I'm also in that position where sometimes I have to go, yeah, no, the house sucks, right? So it really bothers me that has to happen. So I'm always thinking about ways that I can help you guys. And if there's any ethical way that I can help you guys make more money or sell more homes or anything, believe me, I'm all in. I want you guys to be successful, and I've always viewed us as being in the same business, right? I only make money when I also sell. So we're all in the same business, right? Okay. How do I
Here's a clicker, sorry. And yep.
All right. Oh, and before I move on, these are door prizes. Whoever engages the most today, whoever asks the best question or engages the most is going to get a bottle of wine. And so don't be afraid to chime in with good questions or good engagement. I got it. You want to get it? Yeah, I'll get it. Okay. I'm a control freak. All right. I am totally aware that sometimes we have to be deal killers. And I will be honest with you and tell you that I teach a course for home inspectors. It's a program called the Jumpstart Program. And one of the things that I teach is we have to do everything we can possibly do to make realtors' lives better and help them make more money because we cause a lot of crap for them. So I'm aware that sometimes we make your life miserable. And I couldn't imagine working on a deal for months at a time and getting through a process and then having a home inspector go, here's a bunch of nitpicky crap and I'm going to blow your deal. So I try not to be that kind of guy, but I'm aware that it exists. All right, so how do we overcome this problem? How do you make every single home inspection successful? So what I asked that question was, how would you like to sell more homes and make more money? You don't have to raise your hand because everybody in this room wants to. How do we avoid deal killing home inspections? Now, here's the frustration for me, and this is where it kind of lands on your lap. At every single inspection that I go to that falls apart and turns into a train wreck, I always think to myself, number one, why didn't the listing agent call me to do a free walk and talk? Because I've been offering those for 6 years for free, pre-listing. I'll go in and tell you everything's going to show up on a home inspection. But that still doesn't help you guys very much. A pre-listing inspection doesn't always help you a lot either, because now you have to disclose all that crap that they find, right? So that's a deterrent for a lot of sellers to want to do them. Free walk and talk still leaves you with a big bunch of problems. It isn't really a solution. And sometimes that pre-listing walk and talk creates bigger problems for you guys, because now what do you got to do? Now I got to call eight contractors and get estimates and go through this nonsense. So it's a big burden. So my brain's been thinking, Waveworthy didn't really work out the way I thought. So how do we make that more successful? How do we help you guys make more money? All right. This is a question I love seeing this one. I do this at presentations. Raise your hand right now, and I mean it. Raise your hand if you think that I love finding all the defects in homes.
I think you
I think
should.
you love it.
But that's good though.
All right. I don't. I actually hate it. I hate finding defects in homes. If it were up to me, I'd walk into every house. The inspection would take 45 minutes. Everybody'd be happy, and I would leave, and we'd all sing, Kumbaya, and life would go on.
And we'd all be sued.
It's not when I walk into houses and find problems. I actually hate it. And there's been a progressive negative slant to my life where, like, 6 or 7 years now in New York of walking around finding problems all day. I'm kind of more mentally negative now, right? So I'm a solutions oriented guy. So when I find lots of issues in homes, what you guys probably don't know is that there are days, and I can tell you Saturday was my birthday, March 14th. I pulled an 18-hour day. I wrote 2 reports. I was up until 1:15 a.m. So when I find a ton of defects in a home, it isn't just you that's feeling it. I am too, because I got to go write that report. And some of those reports are 120 pages. Okay. So this is the worst part of my job, having to explain to clients every single day. And I can do 2 or 3 inspections in a day. And you guys have been on inspections with me where I'm going, all right, well, here we have this thing that I've seen 1,000 times, and this really only takes 10 minutes to fix. And this double tapped breaker in the electrical panel is going to show up in red in your report. And it's going to say everybody's going to die, but I swear to God, it's a 2.5 minute fix and takes 1 wire nut. So it drives me crazy that I have to go write a report where writing the defect takes longer than fixing it would. Okay. Imagine that would be like, I'm doing over 400 inspections a year, and every day I have to write up a defect that I could have fixed at the inspection faster than I could have put it in the report. All right. So for me, last year was kind of a challenging year on a lot of different fronts. Number one, I was a little burned out. Number two, and this is where I'll divulge a little personal information for you. Social media is a double-edged sword. It looks great. I've got 640,000 followers on social media. I'm doing 1 million views a month on YouTube right now. And that all seems great from the outside world. It sounds great until you got people beating up your Google reviews with fake reviews. You got death threats, stalkers, people coming to your house at 2 a.m. So last year was kind of one of those existential moments for me to kind of go, what am I doing? What do I want to do? And so how do I transition myself into, and now it's his turn to go find defects every day.
Yay, Austin.
Right. So we'll see how he's doing 6 years from now. But I wanted to move more into a solutions focused area of my life. I didn't want to just walk around with a flashlight pointing out problems all day. And so I realized the most valuable thing that I have in this whole entire world is all the information that I have learned over the course of my entire career as a home inspector and working on houses. I have one huge key differentiator that puts me even, in my opinion, kind of above even local contractors. Contractors don't know how to write a home inspection report. They don't know what inspectors are looking for. They might know what code inspectors are looking for, but as you know, we're not code inspectors. So knowing how to make an inspection go well is a huge advantage. So what can I do to help you guys? How do I transition from making your lives more difficult to helping you guys actually sell more homes and make more money? And believe it or not, I actually can do that. And is Stefan still in the room? Oh, sorry, man, you moved up there. All right. I'm going to tell you a story because Stefan's a perfect example of how this works out. And I've got a bunch of these stories. This is the way that you are doing it now. This is the problem. This is what you did last year and the year before and the year before that. You vet the report, you have to call contractors, you have to schedule contractors, you have to get estimates. Repairs are then made and re-inspections, okay? Now, that actually isn't even the norm anymore. That's how it used to go. Now it's this. Now you just negotiate the money out of it. You're doing a credit at closing or giving them some money off. Great, you got to credit them for the roof or whatever else. But at the end of the day, you're making less money. And that doesn't make me feel good knowing that I'm actually a part of making that happen because I'm the guy calling out all those problems, right? So there's your two problems. That's the solution. I finally took all those stupid ideas that I had that weren't really working on their own and said, why don't we just provide the solution? I love where this is going to go in a second too. Inspection Ready is a service that is from a brand new company that I started last year called Kincaid Home Services. This is my construction home improvement company. I've had this company for over 2 years. And this is a service that I've been sort of testing and fine tuning and figuring out how to make this happen, both legally, ethically, and to be able to combine it properly with the business. And I wanted to test run it before I came here and like bored you all with it, but it works. So that's the website. Feel free to go to it. If you guys want to take a picture of that, go for it. But it's kincaidhomeservices.com. And there is a page on that website specifically for you guys. All right. So those two companies now can work hand in hand. And I already know, and I can already see the look on a couple of your faces. You're going, wait a minute, you can't work on a house that you've inspected. That's illegal. It's unethical. All right. Here's how the system works. And I'm going to get into some of those other questions. Step one, I'm actually going to put on a different shirt. I'm going to show up with my truck and my trailer, and I'm going to go through that house as a contractor, somebody who actually knows the right way that things are supposed to be done and exactly what's going to show up on an inspection report. And I'm going to say, here's all the stuff that's going to show up on an inspection report. And I'm working with a listing agent or a seller at that point. Step two, you guys then consult your clients on here's the stuff that's really going to be a delay in the process or a huge negotiation or concession. Okay, not everything on the list is going to get fixed. People really only care about certain things. Okay, but it's up to you to then be the consultant for your clients to say, here's what I think needs to be done. So in step two, we go in as a contractor and fix all of that stuff ahead of time. And we do it in one trip. Usually we get it done in a day. Most, sometimes it's a 2-day job. These are not big construction processes, but this is how we get you through past all that laborious thing of calling contractors, waiting for estimates, waiting for repairs to be done. Number three, at the end of it, I then come in for the seller and I put on my other shirt, my home inspection shirt, and I do a full pre-listing home inspection report. Okay. Now, the initial pushback that I usually get is you can't do that. That's unethical. That's illegal. It's against New York state regulations. Okay. This is the whole system. But Preston, isn't that illegal? If any of you were thinking that question, it occurred to me that after I read the Code of Ethics, all the laws, the real estate laws, they are all chronologically specific. Everything says prior to the close of escrow, a home that you have inspected, responsible for a house you have reported on. It's all past tense. I am legally prohibited from doing any work to a house that I have inspected already after the fact. And the reason that exists is because I can't walk into a house and go, your roof sucks, but by the way, I also do roofs. You know how many bad roofs I would find if that were the case? So I fully agree with the ethics around that. But working with a seller to say, here's what's going to happen when you go to sell your house. You're going to end up with a lot of problems coming up on a report. And frankly, most of these are pretty easy to fix. Self-closing hinges, GFCI outlets, like these are all the things that show up in red and scare the heck out of people. We pop in and fix all that stuff quickly and get it done. And then at the end of it, because I'm still working for the seller, I can then do that pre-listing inspection report. Okay. We even went nationwide with this concept, and this is something I'm now teaching other inspectors how to do. Right? We checked this. I had 2 lawyers working on this. They checked every single state to find, and there's only 2 states, Florida and Texas are the only 2 that are not chronologically specific. Great, we're in the clear. New York is. Post-inspection must be disclosed. Disclosure is critical. So there's always a way to ethically navigate this process, but to also speed it up and get out in front of it and to be proactive. All right, and so getting legality out of the equation, is it ethical or is it unethical? my client on both fronts is the homeowner. If it would be unethical if I did the work and the pre-listing inspection for the seller and then went and did the inspection for the buyer, which I will not do. So if I provide this service and a buyer comes along, I'm not doing their inspection. Now, I could even ethically and legally do it as long as I disclosed to them that I did the work, but I just simply won't cross that line. It's an ethical line for me. But I can do it for the seller all day long, perfectly ethical, perfectly legal. Okay? Now, what I want to show you is these are actual invoices. I blocked out the address, but this was the first invoice for years.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to tell you guys a story. It's actually a really cool story. It isn't the most successful story, but it is a very successful story. Stefan called me up and he goes, dude, we got a problem. We got a house we've been trying to sell. It's been a nightmare. Haven't been able to sell it. We're actually talking with the seller right now about possibly knocking the house down.
So this exact listing, we had it listed and it had gone under contract twice and died both times in inspection. And that's when we decided to call Preston and try this search out.
Yeah, no, and if I remember correctly, wasn't it first, I think it was listed for what, 220 or 230 or something?
Originally, it was like, yeah, it was 230 and we were struggling to get like 195
Right.
at this point.
Okay, and so then when Stefan told me, he goes, we're actually considering knocking the house down and selling the land. You know, it's got a well, it's got septic. So I don't remember what you said that number was, but I think maybe 130 or I don't remember. So like they were all talking about making a lot less money to get over this problem. And I looked at the house and was like, we can just do a few things here, right? Just a small handful of things. It all came out to be about $7,000 total. And the owner of the house was like, go for it. Pressure washed it, oxalic acid, made the whole outside, brightened it up, went inside. I'm not going to say we got rid of mold. We may or may not have. But we cleaned the inside of the house up and did everything right. Put new drywall in, textured, we did knockdown texture on the walls. So when somebody walked into the house, it no longer felt like a huge construction project. They can actually envision themselves living there. And that house went under contract very quickly after that. And then winter hit. Now, there were some other little stumbling blocks, but I actually got involved in that process and helped them sell that house. And what did it sell for?
235.
So
Even just the acid treatment made such an insane difference that like I still bring it up on my phone all the time to people. For like 2 weeks, I was like, you wouldn't believe this. Check out what it did to a house. Like
right.
it looked like a brand new cabin. And before then it was like just all of that weathering where on every little eave, it's a different color, gray and brown. And all of a sudden the whole thing looked like new lumber, like to the point where it looked like new lumber. It was kind of, it's crazy.
Where I think a big part of the value is you solve the problem for us very similar to how we solve one of the problems for us, how we solve problems here through educating people on things. Because even though you didn't do an inspection for the buyer, you were still willing to meet them there and explain what you had done and like kind of help them feel okay with what was happening. And that in that moment, that's what made like that was the final like
They were ready to close after that conversation.
yeah, and there was even talk that they were talking about possibly backing out over the plumbing. So I'll tell you guys the whole story. After we got it all done, they got under contract, winter hit. They decided to unwinterize the house so that they can go test everything out.
not us.
Not them, no, yeah. And then really bad winter hit and all the plumbing just got destroyed from having water in it. And so what I did was, okay, went in, we patched everything up to get it working, but I told the buyers, like I met the buyers there and I just said, listen, consider me your home warranty. When you guys buy this house, call me. I'm going to come in here. We will replumb this whole house properly and I'll do it for free. And I did. They bought the materials. I went in and was there for a day and a half. I helped them put a diesel heater in their basement. Like the buyers were so grateful. And right now we got rid of all the patched up plumbing. It's all like replumbed nicely and beautiful. Like, so I walked away from that deal feeling really good that I helped everybody in the equation. I hope the buyer's agent, the selling agent, the seller, the buyers, like literally everybody was happy. And that felt way better to me than just being the guy going, here's all the problems with the house.
I think what was really awesome about it was the first time in my career I've ever had a home inspector as an ally with everybody in the transaction, working with everyone to get a transaction done rather than just shoveling off a report saying, here you go, see you later. Like Preston was part of the working for the seller, but still very much a conduit of information and part of the transaction with us. And no doubt, never would have closed without you. No way.
And so that's one of about 15 projects that I've had in the last 2 years using this new service, the inspection ready service. This is another one. This is one of the bigger ones. This is like $6,000. This is stuff that we did in a day and a half. Okay. And we literally, me and my guys come in, we bring the truck, the trailer, we just move in and we just start knocking everything out. And so we're in and out very quickly. That inspection report gets to you guys within a couple of days. And now you're off to the races to go sell a house that you know is going to do well in an inspection. And 9 times out of 10, they're just going to take my pre-listing report. And this is where I'm going to sound arrogant, but I'm not. Like, it's really hard to impeach my report. It isn't like I'm some fly-by-night guy that nobody knows, right? So when they see my report, they're more likely to go, yeah, we're just going to like take his word for it. And even if they don't, I know that any inspector is going to walk in there and go, they're only going to find the stuff that I told you they were going to find. Because I already went over it with a fine-tooth comb. We already fixed the stuff that I knew was going to be a big issue for you. So inspection ready is kind of going to be my new focus. And I'm still doing inspections and I'm still working for my green list. So I'm now at that point in my career, I'm going to be semi-retiring in October. I bought 20 acres in Arizona and now he gets to go pay his dues. But my daughter has been running my office for the last 4 years or for 3.5 years. He's now 1.5 years into being an inspector. He's a solid inspector. His reports are good. He's just kicking butt and taking names. I'm so proud of that kid. So now they can go handle the most of it. I can go do this stuff and still work with those of you that these people in this room. That's really all I want to do. I'm kind of over it. And if you haven't noticed on my social media, and this is where I kind of want to finish, I kind of want to end, is I am perfectly aware that not everybody loves my social media. I know that it rubs people the wrong way. I know it's caused drama, but I had an issue with one of the realtors here this year. I want to put this out there. And I can back this up and prove it. There is nobody on this planet that defends you guys more than I do every day, literally every day. On an average day, I get at least 200 people telling me the realtors are shysters, realtors are crooks, realtors are used car salesmen, realtors, you can't trust them. And I'm the guy right there every single time going, I work with awesome realtors. Reach out to me, I'll tell you who the good ones are. I work with amazing, ethical people every day. So here's the thing that I can tell you. I've become bitter over the last 6 years over the people that are out there doing it wrong, that are causing you guys to be painted by that brush. And I take it personally, it upsets me, and I get angry about it. And I will call out the unethical people in defense of you guys. So what happens a lot of times is realtors think because I'm calling out a bad, unethical realtor that I'm coming after your tribe, but I'm not. I'm defending you guys because every day I work with amazing realtors and I hate it when that stuff happens because you guys all get judged by that and it bugs me. And same with home inspectors. I'm doing my part even in home inspection. I'm teaching other home inspectors how to do it better and how to do it right because I get painted with that brush. Now, this is a whole different way of thinking. And I will tell you, it's been an uphill battle for me in the home inspection realm. There's one thing that I have successfully changed in my industry, and it's taken me almost 7 years to do it. Home inspectors, by and large, don't let clients attend inspection. That is common nationwide in our industry. Just come at the end for a quick summary, leave me alone to go focus on being an inspector. And it's nonsense. I've been trying to change that to make clients a meaningful part of the inspection. Come be a part of it, walk through it, see everything I see. I'll tell you the story, the history, why I think this, because this is how you keep people from getting on the ledge. That report is scary. You get 85 defects, 12 of them colored in red and no context to that. That's how you kill deals. That's how you blow deals. That's how you make people angry. So I'm telling you, I don't get more hate than I do from, like, the most hate I get is from other inspectors with me trying to change that paradigm. But I'm not going to change it because I know it's best practice. I know it's best for everybody, including the clients. And I can tell you that now there's a huge swath of inspectors in this country. I've had more than 6,000 inspectors go through my Jumpstart program that are now encouraging clients to attend to be a meaningful part of their inspection. So I'm doing it different on our side for inspections. Hopefully you guys can start to do some of this stuff differently because there's a better way to do this. And if you want to make more money, you got to change it. You can't do it the way you did it last year. And this isn't just about me making money, because, you know,
So when you semi-retired, are you gonna be doing the inspection ready business with your,
no, so semi-retired means, here's what that means, just to clarify. That means in September, I'm bugging out of here because these winters, I'm getting too old for this stuff. So I'm gonna be over in Arizona enjoying the sunshine, and then when May comes, I'll be back here. And I've got guys. So we have 2 trucks, we have a trailer, we actually have 2 trailers, and I've got guys. So, and what I will do even in the winter time, we're talking about this, is I will fill up a week's worth of schedule and fly here and come do those. And then send my guys to do the repair work, to be a part of it. Winters are gonna be the part I'm bugging out, semi-retiring from. I love it here in New York. I love I got 60 acres and a trout stream. I love it. I want to be here during the good season. I can't take these minus 20-degree inspection days anymore. I love it. So,
And I still text you with all my problems.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys have any questions, but, I will say that, Stefan, you were the most meaningful part of that. And, I don't know, who do you think would get the other one?
Well, you have questions.
I don't know why you put it on me.
Yeah. I know.
All right. There you go. You have hearts for the line.
Thank you.
So anyway, thank you guys for letting us be here. Please don't pass up the tacos. I'm telling you, they're life changing.
It's gonna seem like.
All right, so, we're good. Anthony has made, oh my goodness, corned beef, thank you. I was like, oh, my cabbage. Everything has tacos, corned beef is on the counter, and the tacos on the table.
It would be interesting to me, and then this person's honor, the Delaware County or ER. I didn't realize that was on our national.
That's why I didn't know that I was.
How do we care?
He reached out when I.
So the last
for like,
3 years,
okay, when I
the
get to
number
him,
failed.
and I was like, oh, I know last time after I sent an email. But I think they're going.
Saying-
Where.
I